Spanikopita spiral. It's fun to say, and it's even more fun to eat.
I can't say that because I never got to try them.
It's big. It's actually smaller than it looks. I ate it all.
Did you actually?
It took like 3 days, but I took it down.
3 days worth? I could have had some of that, buddy.
It was too good.
Stop making delicious things and not bringing me any.
The first thing I did was put the pizza stone in there because we're gonna actually be cooking right on top of it.
Ooh.
I like to use it as like it's like a rack in there.
Yeah.
Basically.
That provides like a delicious crunchy base.
Yes, even though we're not, you could cook it directly on there, but we're not cooking it directly on there. No, I'm just using it as like a flat surface.
Well, I think you messed up.
I know, now I'm
like,
like,
you had a missed opportunity here.
But I did use the pan. I'm using a clear pie pan, but that's because you kind of need that pan to like contain
keep the spiral. You got it.
Yeah,
you got it.
So I didn't use smoke flavor for this, but you absolutely could. But you'll notice I didn't add any pellets to it. I just didn't feel, I wasn't in that kind of mood.
That doesn't make any sense.
You don't make any sense.
I think next time we do a vid, I think we need to discuss what's happening beforehand.
It's my food, and I didn't feel like smoke flavor.
Actually, that is true because I never got to try it, so I don't care.
Now this spinach is from my garden, okay? But it's cooked down ahead and wrung out because spinach is one of those things that has a lot of water in it.
Yeah.
So you have to just cook it and then wring out the water, otherwise this will be too soggy. So this is like the ultimate dump and stir recipe. You want to add everything to a large bowl and mix it all together.
What is that? Shrooms?
Shrooms don't go in this.
What's wrong? Shrooms can go in anything.
Shrooms are not traditional in this. Although I love shrooms, that would make a great addition.
Anything wrapped in phyllo pastry, I'm there for
That's a different thing. That's not a Spanikopita.
Anyway.
That was onions, a lot of garlic, and now we're going in with a plant-based feta.
Ooh.
So you can by all means make feta, and I have made plant-based feta before, and it's delicious. But I wanted to try the store-bought version because I haven't had this one yet.
And it's quicker.
It is way quicker, and it does taste surprisingly a lot like feta.
That's like being like, you can make your own mozzarella. Of course you can, but store-bought is obviously going to be much quicker.
Yes, absolutely. And I did want to, this one is surprisingly like feta. It has like a very like briny, salty, that's what I just said.
That's all it is, yep.
You're just repeating what I'm saying, briny, salty.
There's only those two ways to describe feta.
Cheesy.
Creamy.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
And this is nutritional yeast. This is an ingredient in the plant-based world that makes things taste even more cheesier.
I like where we're going with all of this. Good flavors, simple.
Yeah.
Simplicity rules these days for us.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're making a traditional version of a Spanikopita, nutritional yeast isn't obviously part of that. But this is a very similar recipe, and it's very easy to make this dish into a vegan dish.
I don't know about that, though, because I feel like as a non-vegan, nutritional yeast is one thing that I feel like can go in many different things.
And it
just
cheesy.
Tastes delectable.
It's not like, it's just like savory.
Yeah, I wouldn't even,
cheesy.
as somebody who is not vegan, I don't personally find it cheesy. I find it like tasty. Like I don't know if this is true, but like, I feel like it amplifies whatever it touches, kind of like a next level salt without providing saltiness.
I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like a flavor enhancer.
Yeah, it's not necessarily cheesy per se. If you're looking for it to taste like a Parmesan cheese, you're going to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. But it is like a savory umami type of vibe.
Yes.
That's why I add it to so many different things. And it also happens to be high in vitamin B12, which even a lot of meat eaters are lacking in. Okay, so this is store-bought phyllo dough.
Again, could you make it yourself? Obviously. Are you going to want to take the 10 hours ahead? Actually, probably longer than that.
Yeah, no.
To make phyllo pastry, you don't need to. Store-bought phyllo, phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's so versatile. And traditionally,
and vegan.
Yes.
Naturally vegan.
Yes, it is. Not puff pastry. So be careful when you're looking for puff pastry. There's butter in it sometimes, but you can find a vegan one sometimes, believe it or not.
Can you really?
Yeah, because sometimes it's oil instead of butter.
Cool.
But so this box of phyllo came in 16 sheets. So in order for me to do the math to make this into rolls, I like to see what I'm working with and then try to divide that up so I know how much filling I'm putting in. Because otherwise, if you're making a recipe, you're like, how much is too much filling? Like, what am I doing here? So I divided up our filling into 4 and then put 4 sheets. So 4 times 4 is 16. Is that right? I don't think that's right.
No, 4 times 4 is 16. This is taking way too long to figure out. We did not major in math. We are chefs.
No, that's not the right math. No, but divide the sheets up however many sheets you have.
It doesn't need to be perfect. We'll eyeball it, look at how much filling you have and just start rolling. It doesn't really matter.
But I like to make it even, so however many sheets you have, just divide them up evenly, so then you know each roll is going to be the exact same when you go to spiral it up. And
that's a smart way to do it. I definitely would just eyeball that and be like, that's all right.
No, but you're going to end up with like 5 sheets at the end.
I know. I have before.
Okay, so
sometimes eyeballing it doesn't work.
No, I don't like, that's why I don't like to eyeball.
So I don't like to do math.
Clearly, neither do I. So when I like to make this, I don't traditionally, in making Spanikopita, every layer is buttered or oiled. I think that's too much. It's excessive. It's too oily. It's too greasy. So I like to oil the bottom and then put the rolls in and then oil the top. And that's absolutely plenty. You don't need more oil than that. And I don't think it's lacking in anything. I think as a matter of fact, it's just if you do butter every layer, it just ends up being too greasy.
Okay, so this is your standard pie chart. Or your pie, what is with the math talk today? This is your standard pie plate.
Yes.
Okay, so it's just like what is that, 9-10 inches?
I don't know.
Standard,
it's a clear pie plate that I had. And I'm just using it as a guide to place our spiral pieces on, and I started on the outside, because if you start on the inside, there's nothing to hold it together. So it's super simple.
Oh yeah, right.
It's extremely easy to do. You just take a roll, put some of the filling in, roll it up. You're making like a long, tight cigar here. And working towards, I like to start from myself and then work my way towards the top.
Now, why did you go with the spiral? Because like Spanikopita normally is the flip-flop method. The little triangles that we all know and love. But basically, Spanikopita can be like any shape.
Yeah, but have you seen the spiral in the store?
Yes, I have.
I love the spiral. So I've had it both ways, like the triangles versus a spiral shape. There's something about the texture of a spiral. It's like the top and bottom get crunchy, but the inside is still chewy. Okay. That's what I like about it.
So that's why you would go as a, okay. And also presentation-wise, this is awesome.
Yes. And what's cool about this is you can eat it like piece by piece and unfurl it, or you can cut it into wedges like a pie, which like presentation-wise is also very cool. So
see, this is enough oil.
That's what I think.
You oil the bottom, you oil the top, you're good to go.
I don't think oiling every layer is necessary. And I know a lot of traditionalists will be like, yes, you absolutely have to when you're using phyllo dough, but I don't. I think
if you want to, you can. It's not going to affect the recipe.
It's just overkill.
It's a personal preference thing. I don't really think it's necessary.
No.
You're not making a baklava or a baklava.
But see, even that too much it's just too much.
I feel like you need it because that needs that, like when you bite into a piece of baklava, you want that greasiness, you want that honey, you want that. But for this, I don't want that.
No, I don't want that.
Because then you can't. The oil overpowers the filling flavor, and that's a flavorful filling.
And I like to pepper the top just for presentation. You could put like some sesame seeds, black sesame seeds on there is also nice.
Ooh!
Against the white, like the light color of the top.
And again, not traditional. This is like we're on a fusion kick.
I think everybody is on a fusion kick.
Yeah, fusion. It's like everyone has tried a lot of the traditional things. They're delectable, and then now everybody's a foodie. Everyone wants to put their like spin on it.
Yeah, and why
not? Oh my goodness gracious.
All right, okay, so it's just 20 minutes later. It's already starting to brown up on the top.
Look at that gorgeous brown exterior.
Let me tell you, this smelled
40 minutes.
Yep, absolutely phenomenal out here. And it was so nice and golden brown because this little unit cooks so quickly. I was expecting this to take a lot longer, but you'll know it's done when it starts to, part of mine busted open and the filling was starting to come out.
Again, beautiful.
That's when you know it's done, when it's nice and bubbly. And what I like to do, I like to cook it in a clear pan because you can lift it up and see the bottom.
Yeah, that's the benefit of a clear pan.
Because then you're not guessing. You're like, is the bottom nicely brown?
Clear bakeware in general, not just like pans. If there's a clear option, I will always go clear.
Yes, me too. What I like to do, like I said, you could start from the outside and undo it and just eat like the pieces. But I prefer to do it like this. I don't know why. There's something about that texture. You get a little bit of the crunchier outside, then the chewier inside, the nice little pieces.
You know what this is reminding me of?
What?
Ladies' luncheon.
Yes.
This would be great served at like a fancy bridal shower, a ladies' luncheon. I don't know what a luncheon is, but I would serve that at a luncheon.
You know what I think this was good for? Breakfast. That's how I had it.
Or breakfast.
I had it for breakfast. I had it for lunch.
Dinner. This could go for anything.
It didn't last long, let me tell you, because it is addicting. And I also didn't mention this, but go have heavy-handed on the salt, especially because the filling is, there's a lot of spinach in the filling. You really have to make sure you salt it. It's so savory, it's crunchy, it's chewy, it's creamy. It is like an absolute flavor explosion.
I am into this. Yeah, I'm into that cross shot. But I also like the idea of, I do like the way that you cut it, but I also do like the idea of just spiraling it out at like a party.
Yeah.
If you brought this as like a potluck item,
why not?
I like the idea of, you don't need to get in there with paper or with plates. You don't need to get in there with proper servingware. Just attack it.
Yeah. I don't know if people would want you just attacking it in like a guest type of situation.
Why?
Because then like you're touching other people's food and like.
Oh yeah, actually true.
Like don't attack it.
No, but at a family function, I would.
Ew, I can't stand that when you're at parties and people are like ripping off, like, you know when you order a pizza and they don't cut it all the way and then
just
you have
to let
to
you
pick
know,
up 2
everybody
pieces?
does that, buddy.
Ew, I find that so gross.
It's how you do. That's how you handle a pizza.
Don't touch my food.